Under Friday Night Lights, the Swans pulled out all their tricks while the wayward Harry McRae has turned into a dead-eye dick. A hot-headed James Sicily kicked out and was offered one, but like Dale Kerrigan, he fought the law and won. The grand finalists are 0-2. Jesse Hogan's already kicked 10 through, and Brian Myers is throwing shoes. To dissect round one and look towards round two, this is Triple M Footy's Midweek Rub, now sponsored, if you don't mind, by BWS, with two-time St Kilda All-Australian Lee Joey Montagna.
Hello, Rabsy. Yeah, we made it now, haven't we? The big time.
We have.
BWS. We all like a little spirit and a little couple of beers, so that'll go down a treat.
Collingwood and Carlton superstar Daisy Thomas.
Thank you very much, Rabs. Anytime there's a castle reference in an opener, it's going to be a good show.
And the big enchilada from afl.com.au, Damien Barrett. Dale Thomas written down here, but Damien Barrett.
Hello, Rosie, Days and Joey.
That was like the time Eddie Maguire forgot your name.
He just completely forgot my name. Yeah. I think he got the Damien bit out. He couldn't remember even though I've known him for 30 plus years.
Jim threw me out the other day as Daisy Pierce again.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You've got that a
that's the
couple of
second
times?
Daisy Pierce.
Yep, twice from Jim now. Yeah. I don't know if he's trying to power move me or he just forgets, but that's what he's got.
Hey, apologies for almost being late too. Trying to find a car park around here, South Melbourne, was a nightmare. So I was driving around in circles, Daisy. So I need to find
Daisy's
a few of
got
your
it all worked
tricks.
out.
I had two theories,
Yes,
and they've both been proven to be wrong.
because you were telling me that. Yeah, well, let us say where.
Well, you didn't see the letter that I got put on my car this morning. I came in early to do the Marty Sheargold show, and now I parked just around the corner. There's a pet supply store, which I'm a customer of.
Yep.
I do go in there and buy food for the cats. And there's a sign that says customers of, we won't say the store, Petbarn in Moray Street.
Have I got permission to read this? Because I've got a screenshot of it as well.
But just this is my understanding of the letter, of the thing in the car park. It says customers of Petbarn only. I'm a customer. I've got an account there. I go in and buy cat food.
Yeah.
So I can use that car park at my discretion anytime I want.
And who's to say you're not going to Petbarn after this?
Correct.
But you're not though, are you? When you weren't.
I will. I might.
So what did the letter say?
On the windscreen right now,
Sticky tape
sits
to the windscreen.
an white A4 sheet of paper with sticky tape around all four edges of it. And it reads this way. I'll leave the name of the company here. This parking is for
Petbarn.
customers and staff only. Full stop. This is the bit I like. This is your only warning.
Whoa.
Any further attempts to park here and your vehicle will be locked in overnight or towed as per the signs in the lot.
Yes.
So they'll ring the tow truck.
Well, they're not allowed to do that. I remember Hamish and Andy actually went into this because parking illegal is one of their great hobbies.
Right.
So you can't actually call somebody to tow the car if you're not the owner of it unless it is a council bit of land, which it isn't.
So you're going to take it on?
Absolutely.
So
I'll
happened
be
to last
parked there
season?
again next
Will
week.
you do it next week?
Yeah, I'll go in and buy a 1 cent toy. Probably needs to be more than that, but I'm not sure they do 1 cent toys. But something very small. I'll put it on the window with a receipt and then come in here and have a great time.
A pack of schmackos.
Yeah. Dogs go wacko.
I thought you had that all worked out last year. You were parking illegally in the Triple M car park.
Yeah, well, my car park was activated because I did the rush hour a couple of times. So I got the beep beep, and off you go in underneath the mezzanine one. That got revoked pretty quickly as well. Someone got wind of that, and I walked up, and anyway.
I reckon I was using the pass too until one time Rabsy pulled up and he goes, Joey, you know that's my car spot. Sorry, Rabs.
It is a disaster around here, though.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Anyway, good to be here. Good to be here.
Problems in life, aren't there?
There are indeed. There are indeed. What'd you make of the footy? Everyone's still in a good mood? Everyone's still up and about?
Yeah.
We're not getting cranky yet, are
No,
we?
I'm a bit cranky.
Chris
Pie-
Fagan's getting a little bit cranky.
Pie
Chris
supporters.
Fagan is getting
Is
cranky.
he?
You know it's annoying when Craig McRae's getting cranky. And
That's
that's
interesting.
starting...
I wonder if Craig McRae is, because you know he's like, we've lauded him that they've always cracked jokes before games and been so lighthearted. Do you reckon that is still the case
Did you
this
see his
week?
press conference?
No, was it a bit more prickly?
Yeah, he was cranky. He said, we don't
Right.
use that language. I'm not sure about that language, which was fair enough because there was some, it's not colourful language, just the ones the journos try and slide in.
He's already gone longer without the blow-up, Craig McRae, than is normal. I always reckon there's that 18th month of fairy tale
Honeymoon
period
yeah.
of just reception, and you can bluff your way through as being a nice person for that period of time, but then the losses kick in regardless. And yet he's got through 2 seasons, prelim final first up, grand final win second up. Now he's 0-2. Now we're going to see what he's really like.
Do you still need, as a coach, that real dad voice? You know, when your kids are playing and every now and then you just got to have the cut through, like, right, and they sit up straight. As a coach, I reckon now if he came in and started banging whiteboards, everyone would sit up straight and go, oh, okay, geez, this isn't going as well as we thought.
Yeah, he seems to me more like the guy a bit more, I'm disappointing you, Dale.
Oh,
like that's the opposite approach to quiet. Like,
the Jeff
that-
Walsh.
Not angry, just
Not
disappointed.
angry, yeah.
Tell you what, boys. Oh, yes.
Anyway, big talking point of the Pies. We will get into that.
Yeah, I want to get your views on that because I think you made some really pertinent points off-season, Joey, which I think are now coming home to roost. But You touch on Tassie ever so briefly there. It was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tassie's exciting. I am excited for that. I think it'd be great for the competition. And I think they'll do it. Well, they'll do it differently, won't they, to the way they did the Giants and Gold Coast. They'll make them more competitive. I think it's a state that are craving an AFL team, so they'll embrace it. It's not going to be as hard work as it has been trying to get the Gold Coast and Giants teams going. I really like it. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. They're a footy state. They've wanted it from all reports. Hopefully the stadium has a lid on it because otherwise it'll be pretty cold and pretty poor product.
Yeah, and that's one of the many challenges still remaining. And there's no removing the fact that there's a state election on this coming weekend and there's one party that is not as embracing.
I was going to ask, can you explain that to the listener team for me? Who are the AFL fans all barracking for to win?
They're probably, well, they won't say anything publicly about this because they're neutral, but the incumbent party, the Liberal Party, is the one that's given them the green light on the stadium. And it is a legally binding contract to build the stadium. So even if the opposition, the Labor Party, gets in, that will still be held to account. But doesn't mean it happens smoothly. And the opposition
Are the Liberals'
leader,
favourite down there? Do you know?
From what I can tell, yeah. But what we heard recently, as 2 weeks ago, was the opposition leader making statements that we might just seek to revisit how it looks and that's not going to cut it because of all the things the AFL may questionably do on this one, it's been really clear from the absolute outset. No new stadium means no team at all. So it's not a hybrid arrangement. There's not. Right. There will be wiggle room on the entry point. Andrew Dillon on record, 2028 is the year that he wants it to happen. The stadium won't be ready then, even if they get it going in the next few months. So they'll have to use the Launceston existing stadium and the Hobart existing stadium for that particular season.
Surely it has to have a roof. Sure, as a viewer point of view, if you want to get crowds there, regardless of the weather conditions, if it's got a roof, you'll have a better product. You'll have more people going through the gates because it's not as cold. You're not getting it rained on. No, you disagree?
Well, I think it's ideal, but it's also very, very costly. Could they make it where you have the grandstand covers all the people, the patrons? I mean,
it's a free hit. You're starting from scratch. You're not trying to add a roof to an MCG. You can have it built into your facility.
But part of the complications are the money's attached to whatever stadium that it is.
It's expensive.
And to Joey's point, the roof won't double it, but it will multiply it several fold. And that's where it's an issue from a welfare perspective.
Did you play down there?
I did. I got frostbite one day.
Genuine.
It was literally that cold that we then put our hands under hot water. And then we all got pins and needles. I got pins and needles in my hands and couldn't feel them for about 10 minutes.
We had the wind just going one side of the ground and the ball was stuck there. Genuinely, the ball was played within a 40-metre gap.
Brent Harvey was a great kick, as we know. He once had the kick that actually went back over his head from that wind at Launceston. Yeah.
Now on the Midweek Rub, it's Fugazi, it's a wazzy, it's a woozy, it's a...
I'll kick it off. Our BWS sponsorship has come about 2 months too late for days because they could have sponsored your wedding.
That's all right. The Carlton draft might have helped me out a little bit.
What are you doing with all those leftover slabs, by the way?
Working my way through them.
Joey, Sydney are the best field kicking team in the comp.
That is fair dinkum. Yeah, I think they've got a lot of beautiful kicks in that side. I would say true.
Daisy, the season starting earlier than ever before means the two grand finalists are underdone.
Fugazi, they still had enough time to prepare for a footballing season. I'll tell you what it is meaning, though, is there's a lot of sweat and the ball handling is pretty poor at the moment. So if this is to continue and the weather trends are pushed later and we start earlier, I think the AFL need to look into some sort of technology in and around ball.
Damo, I'm talking about Dangerfield's goal and the talk that he should have passed it off. We need to stop thinking in hypotheticals in the AFL.
That is fair dinkum. What's wrong with going back, seizing the moment and kicking the goal, executing the skill that not many can do under those circumstances? I get the narrative, I get the debate around it, but if you're going to do it and pull it off, well done. There's no conversation to be had beyond that point.
Joey, a key forward will kick 90-plus goals this season.
Including finals?
Yeah.
That's going to be close. That's going to be close. The line 90 unders, overs. What would I take? I'll say under just. So it's
Fugazi?
fair. It's Fugazi.
Right.
But there'll be. I've said there'll be at least 5 key forwards kick 60 plus this year. We'll get some big numbers. 90's just a bit too big. I know Damo's rooting for the 100-goal kicker to come back.
Hasn't been done since
I know. When was it? 208.
Yeah,
That's
bloody
a
awesome.
personal agenda, though, so you can have another TV show.
Soon, but not yet.
Daisy, Matt Rowell will be leading the Brownlow after 2 games.
Fugazi. I feel Noah Anderson might have taken 3 off him already at some point.
Okay.
So he'll be certainly up there, and it's brilliant to see. That midfield is very, very nice there at the Gold Coast Suns, I should say. Heaney's been very good.
Damo, Taylor Adams and Luke Parker won't walk straight back into Sydney's midfield.
That is fair dinkum. Taylor Adams hasn't yet been in Sydney's midfield, and it's going to be a battle for him to do so. And Luke Parker, when he does come back, the experiment with Isaac Heaney is working too well for him to be an absolute lock for the amount of time he's spent in the middle from the past. So fair dinkum.
Joey, Carlton having to buy after 2 games is a momentum killer.
I'm going to say Fugazi on this one because I think it's come at the good time for the Blues with their injury issues. I think they actually have got the nice little start. They can regroup, get some cattle back. I think it's been underrated how well they've won 2 games without Walsh and Wiedering. That's like taking Stephen May and Petrarca out of Melbourne or Darcy Moore and Dacos. Like it's been a great start. They'll get the bye and then they'll come back and hit the ground running.
Daisy, Travis Boak is in the top 5 discussion for greatest Port Adelaide players.
Fair dinkum. Without sort of knowing too many names off the top of my head.
Treaders is up there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he a lock
I think
among the top 5?
Absolutely. Yeah. For what he's done for the football club over a long period of time, I think, not just on the field, but his leadership off the field. He's a ripping bloke, and yes, I think so.
Plays game 350 this weekend.
That's a lot of footy.
It's a lot of footy.
That's a lot of Saturdays dedicated to playing a game.
Damo, the NRL post-game interviews on Triple M should be done in a 10-second delay. I'll just play you a little bit of audio.
Latrell Mitchell had a nice moment to finish the game with you, Dobbo.
Yeah, he did score a try, but he'd be disappointed. They got back to 12-all. Mate, it looked like here comes South, but it just got away from you.
It's all right, mate. Look, honestly, it was in the first bit, just a hard game. We showed what we were about, and honestly, they're big boys. They're competitors. You know, wonder why they come, runner-up last year, so they're building on that. I don't care if I'm Australian boys, honestly.
Only 10 seconds, Ramsey.
Yeah.
Fair dinkum. Yeah, I love Latrell Mitchell. I love actually rugby league, but you can't be carrying on like that post-match.
Was that last quote, I don't care if I'm swearing, boys?
Yeah, then I think he did another about 5 or 6.
What about, though, the NRL now saying Triple M can't film the socials, the social media content? Is that a bit controversial? Come on. Won't go there?
Just moving straight on from that one, Joey. The AFL...
Jasper told me to go with it.
Oh, come on, Joey. Yeah, he gives us a thumbs up too from the back. Joey, the AFL website needs a clip for ranking every one of Nick Dacos's first 49 games.
No, that's Fugazi. That's good. That's good fodder.
That's
that would get. That's good
by
fodder.
Cal Toomey.
I didn't read it because it doesn't really matter. But Collingwood fans would love that, and I thought it's a clever idea.
Yeah.
Like, I was actually trying to think. It would have been fun to do. I didn't have it. What was number one? What was number one? You're a Collingwood nuffy.
What's the problem with that?
What was number one?
I didn't even click it. I'm not
Oh,
going to
really?
raise 49.
you're in a
I'm
minority.
clicking it now. How long we got? Number 49, round
What was
21.
his worst? What was his best?
Round 21, 2023 against the Hawks. The toughest
that wasn't
game of
that game.
Dacos'
That is
career.
great.
Physically targeted, broke his leg off.
Yeah, that's a bit stiff for you, Worthy.
And I'll scroll to the bottom. His best game, 49's a lot. Round 18, 2022 against the Crows. An extraordinary game late in his debut season, stands as the most complete Dacos effort, 19 years and 194 days, 40 or more disposals. Yeah.
Good one.
him.
No, I reckon that's
Obviously couldn't be bothered doing Travis Boak's 349.
No, that's different.
I just got bored reading the worst and the best. Come on, Cal.
Finally, I'll go
There's
with
a video
you.
to go with it.
Yeah,
Daisy.
okay. Awesome.
Isaac Smith has started genuine beef with Patrick Dangerfield.
Oh, look, it's really easy to pot shot from the stands. And for those that, he was a part of success. He wasn't really the main driving factor beyond it. So, you know what those sort of flies around the edges do? They try and stick mud on, the proper players in the competition. And that's sort of what Isaac's done. So I try not to buy too much into the rubbish that he sort of comes up with on the rub. But, I'll keep the receipts, guys.
Well, It is fair dinkum. Well done to Isaac too. And I love the fact how self-indulgent Paddy was there about just distancing himself from Isaac, and he wasn't the fly sticking the mud. He was the superstar the mud was sticking to.
Well, you can hear Isaac as part of the Thursday rub tomorrow night ahead of Spuds match St Kilda versus Collingwood. Get all your tips for round 2 coming up next on Triple M Footy's Midweek Rub. Round 2 action kicks off tomorrow night. Spuds match between St Kilda and Collingwood, the all-new Thursday Rub pre-game show as well from 6 p.m. on the Listener app and on Triple M Footy. How do we see that game playing out, Joey?
Oh, it's a must-listen. Make sure you tune in. And it's a huge game for St Kilda. This is their home game. It's their biggest of the year. They're looking to break the record for the most fans for a home game ever in the history for St Kilda, if they can get it on the weekend. So get down there. Oh, it's going to be a great game. Like, St Kilda should be going in confidence. It sounds like the way that Ross spoke in the presser, that he's going to instill that in his boys, that this isn't the same Collingwood team. But then there's the back of the head. We spoke about Collingwood earlier. You know, they're still a pretty scary proposition. So, look, I'm going to tip St Kilda just with my heart, but it's going to be a great contest.
I've been contemplating this game all week, and I'm going to err on the side of caution, which I don't often do with tipping. I'm going to just back
safe.
Collingwood in to get their season on track.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Pies as well, but I need to see something a lot more. If Max King kicks 3 or more, the Pies will lose.
Temper Trap playing from 7 p.m. as well, so if you can get along, make sure you get along. Adelaide versus Geelong, Damo. This is a massive game on Friday night.
Similarly, in a conundrum on this one too, I'm going to stick with the Cats. I just constantly get disappointed by the Crows. I mean, again, last week was so typical, in my eyes, of what happened in 2023 for the Crows. They could have, arguably should have won, and didn't against Gold Coast. And Geelong, really impressed with what they did against St Kilda last week. I like Geelong this year in the big picture, so Cats.
1 goal, 2 to half time. The Crows, they get back on their home patch. 13 games there last year, 9 wins, 4 losses, 2 of them by 1 point to both the Pies and the Swans. Good form at home. I think they get it done comfortably.
Nice research.
I'm coming into the year was more bullish on Geelong than Adelaide. I liked what I saw from the Cats. Adelaide have history of struggling to beat Geelong, so I think the Cats will stifle their offence. They'll lock them down and they'll get the job done.
North Melbourne versus Fremantle, Days.
Oh, is it weird that I give North a chance, even though how good Fremantle were last week?
North beat them last year in this game, round 2, and that was in Perth last year.
I give North a chance. I'm going to go with Fremantle, even though they've got a lot of injuries that came out of that brilliant win. Geez, that was really good, wasn't it, against Brisbane?
Brilliant.
That
was brilliant.
Yeah. So I'm just going to back that in. But North, I give a real chance to.
North will beat some teams with the way they play. I don't think Fremantle will be one of them. I think they're too professional, too well coached. It was a dominant win by Fremantle against Brisbane.
And you work there.
I think the Dockers will get the job done.
Have we spoken enough about that win? I think it's just, Brisbane zipping too. They had everything to gain.
A lot of pressure on Fremantle, wasn't there, coming into the season?
Yeah.
That was a real...
Caleb Sarong, 40 plus, the way they did it.
The carnage, as you mentioned, in a 15-minute period with all those players going down. I'm the same as you, Days. I'm going to go for the Dockers just on exposed form.
Joey, Hawthorn versus Melbourne. The Hawks have their captain now playing for them.
Yeah, they do. D's win this.
Yep, concur.
Sydney versus Essendon. We think the Swans just continue to roll on 3-0.
100%.
Yes.
They're my certainty.
I'll make it my certainty as well.
Well, there you go. You're all in. Western Bulldogs versus Gold Coast down at Ballarat.
Tough one, this one.
I'm tipping the Dogs. They would want to win this. Otherwise, there will be some serious soul searching at the kennel down at Ballarat if they get beaten. So it's a must win for the Western Bulldogs.
I'm going to go along the same lines. Dogs, but with no confidence.
I'm lighting the fire. The heat's coming.
Yeah,
Gold Coast Suns, I think they can get it done. 2-0 to start the season. They're going well. Their midfield's good. They'll take it up to Bontempelli, Liver and Trelaw. Their forward line's humming. I don't see too many threats.
The young Bulls v. the old Bulls in the midfield.
Just quickly, how big is it if they start 3-0, the Suns?
Oh, it's a massive start. I think, though, they've done this before. So it's a little bit of a still hold and watch, but it'd give them great confidence.
Richmond versus Port Adelaide, your mate, 350th Travis Boak.
Yes, Port in that one for me. Richmond a lot better last week. Again, some injuries, though, which hurts them. Good to see Tommy Lynch back, but Port for me.
Same.
Gutsy by Richmond. I think they'll be more competitive than we think, but Port too classy.
And West Coast versus Giants. We all expect, obviously, the Giants to get the job done there. So what is your outlier? You've picked your certainty.
If there's an upset this round, I think it'll be North Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
My upset is the Cats against the Crows.
Mine will be St Kilda to upset the Pies tomorrow night.
Oh, well, you can catch that game from 6 p.m. with the all-new Thursday Rub. Jack Everin, Kate McCarthy, Isaac Smith and Jay Clark. Then Das is jumping in for the game. And, of course, you can hear every game live on Triple M and on the Listener app all throughout round 2. This has been Triple M Footy's Midweek Rub. Joey, Daisy and Damo, all thanks to BWS.